Do you identify my voice?
Which one?
This is Dennis Jackson. Is David by chance around?
Yes, he is.
I'd like to speak to him, please. By the way, Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, you too. Hey, hang on. Here he is.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Hey, man, what's going on?
I don't know. You tell me.
You kind of sound a little bit weak as far as your voice not picking up real loud. Are you on a different phone?
Yeah, I'm on her phone. No, wait a minute. They tell me. Well, I got the phone back to this one.
Now it's working better. Now it's working better.
Now it's working better. What are you doing?
Hey, man, it's been a while since I've talked to you guys. Gonna call and wish you guys a happy Christmas.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do, and same to y'all.
Well, I got a question for you, Mr. Mayo.
Okay.
You remember that motorcycle that I sold you?
Was that a...
Wasn't that a Suzuki? Or was that a Honda? When we was living right there beside y'all. And the only reason why I'm wanting to know this is to keep my record straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me see. You just have a wreck on that?
I sure did. I had a wreck going around the S corner. At that time, the new highway hadn't come in good. And
Yeah.
I was taking that S curve and the daggum kickstand was down. You remember that?
Yep.
And I wound up getting a lot of road rash. It really didn't do a whole lot to the bike, but you wound up buying it from me the day that I wound up taking it back home there at on Gann Road.
Well, wait a minute. I got a guy here that might answer that. Remember that bike that I bought from Dennis that lived beside us out there on the Gann Road? You remember he wrecked it, and I bought it from him. What kind was that? This is Greg.
Oh, Greg. I remember Greg very well.
Yeah. And I thought maybe he...
Greg was the one that was married to Cindy at one time, wasn't it? I don't know if they was married. Anyway, that was his girlfriend or something. I don't know.
No, that was Suzuki. It was a Suzuki. That's what it was.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. See, I took it over to the Suzuki place over in
Geisberg?
Humboldt.
Oh, Humboldt?
Yeah. And they took, what they do? They took something off of it. I don't know, something that, I can't remember. How many years did that been, Dennis?
Let me see. That's been a while. So I left out of there long about in 1995. So you can go back that far.
Well, that'd be about
30 years.
30.
30 years ago.
See, it would have been, let me see, 95, 2005, 2016. Yeah. I'm on Park Avenue now, and I've been here 30 years.
Right. You're still over there in behind the chow wagon, correct?
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
not the chow wagon. It was Dairy Queen and the Dolan service station here, right behind the old Dairy Queen. Not the chow wagon. That was my brother that was behind the chow wagon. But I was...
Well, you're in that same vicinity. I've been out there at your house, hadn't I?
Hey, what now?
I said, you're still in the same vicinity as the chow wagon. I've been out there at your house, haven't I?
I don't know. You been out to this house since we moved on Park Avenue? I don't know. I don't believe you have.
It's got a garage, and above the garage, you got Dale Earnhardt sign above it.
Well, I got a garage. Yeah, I have got a garage.
Do you got a Dale Earnhardt sign on top of it?
Well, I don't now. I may have then.
Okay.
I got an Air Force.
Yeah, you had an Air Force sign because you was involved with the military.
Right. I guess so. I didn't realize you've been over here.
Yeah, I've been over there.
Well, Gosh, that's been a while ago. Where are you living now?
I'm living down here in Sharon, Tennessee, where I'm originally from, over here in between Kenton and Sharon, Tennessee on Highway 89. Not too far off from I'm about a mile away from the Obion River.
Okay. I know about where that is. I'm not real familiar with it, but
Used to be a Davy Crockett hunting club down in there.
okay.
Used to be a lot of ducks a long time ago coming in and out of there. You know, Relaford, it was the last homestead that Davy Crockett had that his mother stayed in right there in Relaford.
Yeah.
So that whole area is basically Davy Crockett territory.
So are you doing okay?
I'm doing all right. Just got through going through an operation. I fell off a 4-story building whenever I was 19 years old there at the A.O. Smith building.
Yeah.
And I broke both my legs and crushed both my ankles, but they wound up poisoning me up in Kentucky. State of Kentucky wound up poisoning me and putting me on Risperdal that made me jump from 240 to 340 like in about 6 weeks. And I did get all the way up to about 370 pounds, a little under 370. I did lose some weight. I did go down to about 300. Now, because I went through what I went through this year pertaining to a left ankle operation, I had to have it fused. I've gained a couple pounds since then. I'm probably up to about 306 now, but I plan on losing a great deal of weight this next year coming up because it took me all year to get over that operation.
I can imagine. Now, you're married now?
No.
You're not married?
No,
Okay.
I haven't dated nobody or went out with nobody ever since Miss Jackson. Me and Miss Jackson married that second time whenever we was up there in Jackson, Tennessee. Whenever she divorced me after her and me making an investment in buying a 5-acre mini farm over there pretty close to Lexington, whenever she walked out of my life, I haven't dated nobody or none of the above because it seems like most of the women in this country is out to hurt you or out to use you. And I don't need that, David.
Well, I can understand that. I know sometimes it's tough. We've been married 60 years now.
I know you have. Y'all broken the all-time records just about it for this time of year, for this generation growing up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I looked you up. Is the only reason why I got your telephone number. I did at one time have it, but I looked you up and according to the fax machine, it said that your wife was 80 and you was 83. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh my!
84 this next year. Yep, that's exactly right.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
Time has really went by.
How old are you now?
I'm 63.
63. Well, I'm 20 years older than you.
You sure are, Mr. Mayo. Wasn't it your brother that built that house over there that me and her bought right there beside you?
Yeah, that was my older brother.
Is he still living?
Oh, no, he passed away about 9 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And then the brother next to me passed away about 4 years ago, I guess, 3 or 4 years.
So you're the last of.
in line.
So you're the last of the Mohegans.
Well, I got a sister that's 80. Then I got 2 half brothers that are like 75 and 72 or somewhere in there.
I got you.
Yeah. I wouldn't have
thought of me for.
thought about,
you wouldn't have thought of me for $1 million. What happened to Jeff? What happened to Jeff that Massengale that did own that house, that sold that house to us? What happened to him?
Well, he lives out on Racetrack Road here.
Okay.
That's the road that goes to Humboldt, the old back road to Humboldt.
I see.
And he's married to a girl that's real estate, and but he's been building houses and doing, and he's done real well building houses and stuff.
He's a heck of a worker. He's a heck of a go-getter, isn't he?
Oh yeah. He did some work for me when he lived out there on that, the house that we lived in there. So he's good, and I guess he's still doing some building. But
I see.
His wife's a real estate, like I said. So,
I got you.
Yeah.
How about your youngest son, Shane? Is he still doing okay?
Doing good. Shane's 53.
Okay.
and Greg's fixing to turn 57.
Okay.
And he lives out between Milan and Bradford. He's got a nice home out there. He's got a home and 12 acres out there, got a big shop. And his son, now Dylan, is 22 years old. He lives beside him, and he's got a big shop. They all in the car. I think between both of them, they've got about 21 or 22 vehicles.
Huh?
Yeah, trucks and cars, and so.
Is he still into all that NASCAR stuff and race car stuff, or whatever it was that he was involved in? Because Shane was a heck of a mechanic, wasn't he?
Oh, he is. And he's still working at the Arsenal.
Yeah, I figured he was.
Yeah. Now, Greg was one more in NASCAR. He and I went to, all the races and stuff.
Right.
Of course, I got a room full of NASCAR stuff right now, Earnhardt and all this stuff. So.
Right. You ought to put it online, see if you can get anything out of it.
Well, if I'd have sold that when he first got killed, I'd have made a fortune, but now it ain't worth that much.
He's just a dying breed, huh?
Yeah, it is. That's the same. I've got some real good stuff. And I told the boys, y'all come get it. Get it now and get it out of my house. We ain't going to get it till you're gone. So
right.
They get a little bit here along, but not much. So.
Right. Well, did you get a favorable price out of that piece of property that was right there next to my property, or the piece of property that I did have?
35,000.
35,000.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it went more than that, David.
Well, not. Now you talk about 30 years ago.
Well, that's true too.
I paid $10,500 to have it built.
Okay.
And I got 35.
Okay. I don't forgot now how much we bought and sold that house over at Massagill built, but I think we made about $12,000 or $15,000 off of the deal, and we didn't own it but 4 or 5 years.
Well, now my brother paid. Let's see, he paid $9,500, I think, when he built that house.
Okay.
That's what he paid for it.
I don't remember what we gave for it, but it was much more than that.
Well, I know it was, yeah. And of course, houses today sky high.
Oh my God.
And the interest rates and all that stuff.
Oh my God. Look at the cars now. How much cars are?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it ain't nothing now to buy a brand new automobile now and have a $700, $800, maybe a $900 payment.
That's right. Well, they're going to truck costs you $50,000, $60,000. I mean,
Yeah.
So, it's out of sight.
What happened to them 2 kids that Cindy had that Greg was helping raise? Was those Greg's children? You do remember Cindy, right?
I do. No, they weren't. They were.
By another family, by another man.
They were no.
Whatever happened to them 2 kids? Do you still keep up with them, David?
I don't have a clue. I don't know. But,
you don't have. How about Greg? Does he keep up with them?
No.
I see.
They see he married, and he built a house on the other side of me, which I owned that lot, and I gave him that lot. He built the house.
Right there in town?
No, not next to me on the Gann Road, right on the other side.
Yeah. Is that Greg still staying there?
No, they didn't live very long. They divorced.
I got you.
He's got a son who, Adam, but he hadn't. I can't remember. Adam's 30, 40, I guess. But anyway, he's married now to a lady from, she's from Cedar Grove. Yeah, and they don't have any. She was married before to an Air Force guy.
I got you.
They had 2 kids.
I got you.
Yeah.
But no, I was putting out some things on my social media platform, and I'm kind of getting to the end of my story. I know a lot of people probably thought that that I was a strong Hell's Angels supporter, which I ain't got nothing against Hell's Angels. Hell's Angels basically is a motorcycle club, and the majority of them are veterans that has fought for our freedoms.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So I ain't got a thing in the world against that motorcycle club at all. But I was emphasizing on Harley Davidson because I actually could have bought a Harley Davidson the day that I bought that Suzuki down there in Dyersburg. And I made a bad choice by buying that Suzuki. Because that Suzuki almost killed me. Did you know it?
I know it is. Yeah.
Now, a Kawasaki did kill my brother.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. My brother, whenever I was 14 years old, he was 19 at the time. He was on a mission to go and pick me up and take me to Dresden, Tennessee at the courthouse to pick up 50 Dominecker chickens that I had won from the 4-H department. And on the way to go, he was on his motorcycle. On the way to go get his car, he wound up having a head-on collision with a 806 International tractor right there in the center of Cydonia, and he lived about 4 or 5 days after that. It done extensive brain damage to him because he didn't have his helmet on. And you know, motorcycles has always been a big contributor factor in my life because my dad at one time used to own a Harley back whenever he was just a teenager growing up before he went to World War II, an old Indian Harley that God only knows what one of them things would be worth today.
Oh, it ain't no telling. But Indian, yeah. Original Indian.
Original Indian.
Well, tell me this. Now, the girl you was married to and you lived next door.
Shirley.
Had a daughter.
Yes. Amanda.
Amanda.
She wound up having some children, and I guess they're doing just fine. Her mother and father wound up passing away, and since Miss Jackson walked out of my life in 2005, she ain't wanted to have nothing to do with me at all. Matter of fact, she almost took out a restraining order on me just because I had contacted her at the time. She was working down at Jackson at Walmart. I contacted her over Miss Bush passing away. And man, I had all kinds of bad things coming my way, coming from the Weakley County Sheriff's Department, telling me to leave her alone. And if I contacted her one more time, she'd put out a restraining order on me.
Wow.
Yeah, so since then, I ain't had nothing. I ain't tried to call her, ain't tried to do nothing with her. You know, and if that's the way Amanda and Michael feels about me, to the degree that they don't want to try to get hold of me, they don't want to call me, they don't want to send me a postcard or a birthday card or a Christmas card, that's fine too. It has broken my heart because all of this originated around my spiritual awakening that I had pertaining to the message that I was promoting out into society at that time. And I think you remember that because I was like the flim flam man. If I'm not mistaken, Greg and Cindy helped me put out a whole bunch of letters. I think it was about 200 letters to all the different churches around here. And we was rejected, or I was rejected because of that message that I was putting out to the church world around here. And I think the last time I seen you was in Humboldt there at the restaurant. And something had come up about us talking about that, and you said, well, Dennis, if it was really meant for you to have grown with that, don't you think something would have already occurred by now?
Yeah, I can't remember that, but I remember seeing you over there, but that's, gosh. But back to Amanda, I was at a grocery store here in Milan one day, and this lady come up to me and said, "Are you David Mayo?" And I said, "Yeah." And she told me, said, "I'm Amanda." And she had 2 kids with her then. But I don't remember how long ago that's been.
At one time she worked at Walmart there in Milan.
Well, see, I didn't, that's the first time I'd seen her, and no telling how long. It was a long time. But I know she had 2 kids and she is doing well. So yeah, it's a lot of water on the bridge, Dennis.
What? Yes, it is. What size motorcycle was that? Do you remember, David? Was it 1,000 or 1,200?
I think it was a 1,200.
I think it was too, because it had the saddlebags. And the fairing had the fairing on it, and the radio and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did that bike serve you well?
Oh yeah, it run good. And it's something I may have that thing took off. Something was tore up about it, and I just had it taken off. I can't remember, but I rode it. And I don't remember what I done with that bike. I don't know. Gosh, I can't remember what I done. That's been too long ago.
Right.
I've had so many motorcycles that.
Well, that was probably one of your last ones, wasn't it?
Possibly. It may have been. It possibly may have been.
Because you had done already gotten up in a pretty ripe age by that time. You was already in your 60s. Of course, that don't mean nothing. I see people riding motorcycles that's 80 years old.
Oh yeah, I rode them. I had a gold wing after that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, me and her both rode it, and we'd ride, go places on it, and we had the helmets that you had the. It said you could talk to each other through.
Right,
and all that.
right.
So we really enjoyed that one a lot, but it finally got to where my reflexes wasn't what I thought they ought to be, so I just quit riding.
I understand.
I sold it and quit riding.
I understand 100%. Ask old Greg if he remembers helping me mail all those letters off.
Okay, let me see.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's in the room here. I come back here to talk.
Okay.
And, Greg, Dennis said, do you remember him mail a bunch of letters and stuff off here in Cindy when he was into some kind of religious type thing? He said y'all helped him.
But it was almost 200 golden letters that I sent out to all the churches.
He said he sent like 200 letters out to churches and stuff, and he said y'all helped him. He don't remember it.
Oh, he don't remember it.
No.
He's done slept since then.
Yeah.
Well, it was mainly his wife that was helping towards putting them in the envelopes and licking them and putting the stamps on them and all that stuff. It was mainly his wife that was involved in that. He wasn't involved in it, not directly, but I just figured he might remember it.
Apparently he don't. He said no, so he don't. I don't remember it. I mean,
Well, you didn't know nothing about it to begin with.
No.
But now you did know about me going around to various churches and putting out tapes and CDs and stuff like that. You was aware.
I knew about that.
Yeah, you was aware of that.
Yeah, I was.
In other words, I was trying to start a movement back then that I never could rally the people towards because they didn't understand it or disagreed with it or something. I don't know. I know that now today, 30 plus years later, we can see where the world has been turned upside down, especially our country here in America. And I guarantee you a lot of those same people probably wishes that they did go ahead and support that ministry that supported peace and utopia and love and grace and mercy and all the above.
Well, it's so screwed up now, yeah.
Of course, you can lead a horse to the water trough, but you can't make them drink. But I tell you what the good Lord can do, He can make you wish or make you regret that you didn't take a drink, can't He?
That's exactly right.
And that's where we're at right now, pertaining to a society that's been flipped upside down on its head. Because, David, I ain't gonna lie to you, even whenever I was staying out there beside y'all, me and Shirley, in the early 90s, while I was working for Jerry Smith's Body Shop, the world wasn't this crazy. The world wasn't this crazy.
Oh, good Lord.
Of course, we've seen some things go on pertaining to the Mount Carmel Waco incident down in Texas, and then we seen the Oklahoma bombing that happened in 1995, and things was getting crazy, but it wasn't on the level what it is now.
Listen, the last 10 years has changed as much as, gosh, it's crazy how much.
It's gotten dangerous.
Yeah,
you can't trust people. You can't trust what people says.
Yeah.
You don't know who's out to who, do you? Constantly getting telephone calls, scam artists, and constantly getting spam, and I've just never seen the country being taken over this way.
Well, I'm hoping that this new administration will get some of this stuff straightened out.
Me and you alike. But you know as well as I do, even if we do start fluctuating in the right trajectory, if I'm not mistaken, because Donald Trump has already been president one time, he can't run again, can't he?
Not after this time, no. This will be his last time. We just hope that maybe that guy that he got for vice president, Vance, maybe he'll take over
Right.
again.
Right.
Maybe stay on the same track that he's running.
What is the rule? What is the rules with that? You can't be a president in the United States no more than 8 years.
8 years. You serve 2 terms, and that's it.
Or
that's
you,
right.
or you can be voted out of term and then come back like he did. Did you know there's not been but 3 other presidents that's done what he's done?
Well,
That's come back. That's come back. That didn't win on the second term, but didn't come back on the third term and he won.
right. Right.
There ain't been 3 or 4 presidents that's done this. That was a very, very unusual, odd deal for a president that's been voted that didn't get the second presidency, but did get the third. Yeah.
And they're doing everything they can right now
To
to
just
keep him from doing good. This regime now, so they get Biden out of there. That dummy. They're doing everything they can to hurt him.
Yes, David, we've
But
got
I
in.
believe that he's gonna stick to his guns. And
I
he
do
gonna
too.
Do what he says he's gonna do.
Y'all ought to look him up today. He made a live speech today in Arizona.
Yep, I saw some of that.
Oh, did you? He was really hitting it hard, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he does, and he can stand up there and he talk to you for an hour and a half, never miss a meal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he can. He's got it all together.
Well, listen, I am so glad that y'all are still healthy. Ain't nobody in jail. Ain't nobody in the hospital. I'm so glad that you guys are still kicking it at your age, at the age of 83, and your wife at the age of 80. I am so glad that everything is still pretty decent in y'all's life.
We've been blessed.
Yes, you have.
We've been blessed.
You still going to the First Baptist?
Yep, still there. Been teaching Sunday school there for 30-something years. So, yep, we still there.
Is your wife still doing hair occasionally from time to time, or she give that completely up?
She's retired.
She
cuts our hair.
Yeah.
She never could. Shane never had a haircut from anybody but her.
Right.
But she cuts my hair.
So in total, you got what? You got if I'm counting this right, you got 3 grandbabies, grandchildren. 3 of them are males, and do you got a female granddaughter?
No.
You don't have a granddaughter. You got two grandsons by Shane.
I got a grandson and a granddaughter by Shane.
Okay, you got a grandson and a granddaughter by Shane.
And Greg had a grandson.
And okay, all right. So
but
you
I
got
7 great grandchildren.
7.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Shane's daughter Brooke, she's got 4 boys.
Wow.
Ranging from 10 to 4.
Oh my goodness.
And then Greg's son has 2 girls and a boy.
I got you.
So we got 7 great grandchildren.
So the Mayo legacy lives on.
Well, yeah, right now, no. Dylan don't have. See, Adam, when they divorced, she remarried, and Greg let them adopt his son. He was only 2 or 3. So he's a baby. And my granddaughter is, I'm trying to say now. I know. They live in Rockville, Tennessee.
Where?
So I don't got
Where? Could you repeat that name again?
High Note.
High Note.
Hinote. High Note.
I ain't never heard of that. That must be over in Middle Tennessee, East Tennessee, somewhere.
Well, it's in
Middle Tennessee.
Rockville is over around Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro. I got you.
So, yeah, and But now Dylan, he's the male left. He's 22.
I got you.
That's Greg's son.
Sure.
If we have any more males, that'll be them. But otherwise, males is cut off right now. So,
I hear you. Well, I got a great granddaughter. She's about 1.5 years, and of course, my son, he's doing fairly well. He got into the concrete business. I think he's now about 46. He's doing well for himself. Remarried. He married a girl from Ukraine, of all things.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm trying to place the Jackson woman. I can't. What? How come I can't remember her?
Who? My ex-wife?
Yeah.
Shirley Jackson. Shirley K. Jackson was her name. She married me twice. David.
Oh, I didn't know she married. Okay. Yeah, because she was Amanda's mother, right?
Right. That's Shirley.
Yeah. Well, I didn't remember the Jackson name. Shirley, yeah. And so y'all divorced and then y'all married again.
Right. We stayed divorced maybe about 1 year, something like that, maybe a little bit over 1 year, and then we got back together again and stayed married about another 4 or 5, 6 years. That's when we bought that piece of property up there in Lexington, got that mini farm up there, and as soon as I stood back up for the ministry again, as whenever she decided to walk out of my life and never turn back. In other words, she left me flat-footed because I stood back up for Christ.
Okay, well, that's
Well, I can understand the shock and the devastation that she went through pertaining to what went on during the first marriage, because I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but whenever we was living right there beside y'all, Shirley, my wife at the time, was having to fight for custody over Amanda because her dad that lived over here in Union City was trying to take her away from Shirley and me because of my religion, because of what that I believed in. So she had went through some pretty heavy persecution.
Well, I don't remember that, but I didn't know he was trying to.
I bet your wife would remember it.
She may do it.
I bet your wife would remember it because you know how females are about children.
Oh yeah. I agree with that. So
yeah. But listen, it's been good talking to you, okay? And I'll holler at you next time I'm around that way. I'll give you a yell and see if you're still kicking around that way. And I'm sure glad to hear that you guys are doing well.
Well, thank you. And like I said, if you're around this way, stop and see us.
I'll do it.
Okay.
David,
right,
have a Merry Christmas, man.
You too, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.